Hello, everybody. My name is Dwayne.
And my name must be David.
It is, and we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. Tonight is our episode recap of the Merge episode part one, the million
I
dollar
agree. I
decision.
agree. I agree. I agree.
Yes, part one, my friends, because, well, anyway, part one of the Merge. And we are live. Listen, if you're listening on audio, you are missing out. I mean, the audio is great, but we also do this live every single Thursday and Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time at our website, and there's a link that says Watch and Chat Live. So it's stwdd.com/live. Join the chat, join the discussion, and have some fun with us live. So anyway, yeah, good episode. Well, depends on if you're David or Dwayne, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you liked the episode, right?
I did. I liked it even more the second time I watched it.
Oh boy, this should be a fun podcast.
Yes.
Hey, guess what time of year it is, David?
Um, it's winter.
It's
It's fall, almost winter. So
yes,
winter.
it's when all of the great movies come out. It's the Christmas.
Hello.
It's Thanksgiving and Christmas, so it's the holiday season, which means you need to start thinking about your Christmas gifts, and you know where to start your shopping for Christmas gifts, right, David?
I sure do.
Yes. Use our link to go to Amazon.
There you go.
Buy yourself some Christmas presents. I'm talking, you deserve a new TV. You deserve a new car purchased on Amazon. No. Computers, TVs, they got it all, man.
Big TVs. Yes.
That's right. Anyway, thanks for shopping Amazon. It does help pay our bills every month, so we would greatly appreciate you using our link. And David, we got our 11th supporter through Patreon.
11.
11. We are up. We are only $12 a month away from our next milestone.
Woohoo.
That's right. And guess who our 11th supporter was?
Was it
I mean our 10th one I've already told you was Jonathan Riley, but guess who our 11th one is? A little more impressive than Jonathan. Than even.
Offense to Jonathan. Is it a voted out castaway?
Yes, it is. Someone from this current season.
John Rocker?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Kelly Whitworth. Pretty awesome. Yeah. Way to react there, David.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome and pretty, yes. I mean, yes, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, no, but that's pretty awesome. So if you're interested in supporting us through Patreon, feel free to do so. David, do you like buy a Mountain Dew every week or something like that, or is there something that you like to buy every week? Or like every day, like you buy, like you do it consistently?
Pizza once a week.
How much is it? How much is it?
How much is it? Well, it depends on where, but I'd say the ones I like between 12 and 18 bucks.
Uh-huh. For as little as $1 a month, David, you could support this podcast on patreon.com.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me I could, for $1 a month, I could get pizza every once a week. You had my attention for a minute.
What'd you like on that pizza? I'd like some D and some Survivor talk.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Hey, only 11 more days on our hoodies. We have 5 colors of hoodies. I think we got black, dark blue, red, some really cool looking blue. I can't even tell what it is, and it's really dark gray. We got a charcoal T-shirt for only $11.99. We've got a Wow pink women's shirt and 3 long sleeve shirts, and they're on sale for 11 more days. So, and yes, oh, by the way, if you go on there, it will say something about they won't be made unless we reach our goal of 100. They will still be made. So don't. I had somebody ask me, well, I don't even want to order because it might not even work. It might not even happen. It will happen. We've already sold enough shirts that they will make them. So go ahead, get on there before it's too late. And you can just go to our website. There's a picture of the shirts on the right side. All right, David. At the end of the show, I've got because the Halloween jokes were so popular,
Yes.
and we must have gotten, 0 emails about it.
I was going to say one or
I
two.
don't think we got any emails, but
Okay.
because I think it was so popular, I have knock knock jokes at the end of the podcast today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good ones.
Maybe
Some
somebody
of
will listen that far and hear some of them. Okay.
I think they will. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, in fact, if you want to tell knock knock jokes on the chat in the chat room, feel free and distract David all you want.
And if we like them, we might share
Oh, great. Thanks.
them.
All right. Initial thoughts, David. Initial thoughts. You
My
want to?
first initial thought is that I have a surprise for you. I worked very hard on this.
But I thought that was like later.
No, this I'll do it now because I don't want to wear this all night.
Look at
But
you.
I figured out and created the Alex buff.
That's horrible, David.
I know. Maybe he'll see it and understand, but it's too
Oh
late now.
my goodness.
But I figured out
Yes,
the
you
Alex
did.
buff. See that? You like it?
Yeah.
So
Well,
now,
no, but
no, hang on one second. So I could take it off. Put my hat
wait.
back on.
David just muted his camera, so we
Okay.
can't see it. Captain America.
And now the secret is, see, there's the
Uh-huh.
spiral on the top.
Yeah.
You turned it inside out. You put a bread tie just past halfway, and then you pull it back the other way and wear it on your head. So you got over half of the buff between your hair, what little hair I have, and the buff, but you get that neat spiral on the top. Now I'm sure he doesn't have a bread tie, so I don't know if he tied a knot in it or what.
I bet he
that's how-
twists it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how you get that neat spiral, and then you pull it down on top of your head. It's very uncomfortable. It's very unbecoming by the look on your face, and it's something I will probably never wear again.
Yeah, please don't do that.
So I'm going to take the hair tie off so I don't.
Now I
Yeah.
know why you didn't wait till the end of the podcast to show me that.
I did not want to wear that thing though.
Next time you say, Dwayne, I've got something for you on the podcast. Can you make it a little something more enjoyable?
For who?
All right, initial thoughts.
It wasn't for me. You're right.
Initial thoughts, David. Would you like to go first?
One of my initial thoughts was that this episode never ended. Like you said, this was a merge part 1. We all look forward to the merge. We're going to do a special podcast about the merge, which we're not going to do yet, right?
That podcast has been postponed.
Exactly.
I do not want to waste a roundtable discussion with Andy Baker and Steve Helling on this episode.
Well,
So,
yeah. And I agree because we both love the merge episode, but we didn't get the merge episode. We got half the merge episode.
Right.
We got the start of it, but we didn't get the finish of it. And that was my first initial reaction, was like, this is not a great cliffhanger. Actually, it was a good cliffhanger, but the fact that we're not going to come back to a tribal council, we're going to come back to 2 or 3 more days of jockeying for position,
Right.
means we're going to have a second half to the merge
Right.
episode. So that was my first initial reaction. That this was part 1, and next week is part 2.
One of the things about this episode is Keith, and I'm not really sure how to word this, okay?
Mhm.
But Keith, won the immunity idol necklace.
Yes.
The one thing about it is, since he didn't have to use it, he's not confused as to what it's for. So, so for Keith, it's, look, I got to wear a cool necklace for a couple of days, and it had something to do with immunity. Awesome.
So at the next challenge, when Jeff goes, Keith, I'll take that back. What was it for?
Yeah.
What was I supposed to?
Why did I have it?
Yeah.
Thank you for the Lego necklace. It was really nice to wear.
Poor Keith.
All right, I have a couple initial thoughts, but I'll give you one of them.
Go ahead.
And I am being the devil's advocate here. I got to move my video over so that it doesn't look like I'm looking. Okay. I am being the devil's advocate here. Is it possible that production, knowing she was going to quit, knowing Julie was going to quit, Probst even said preseason she's probably going to quit. All right? She's probably not going to be able to make it. Did they, knowing she was going to do that, say, why don't we just call Jeff over here? Why don't we just in other words, get her out before the jury, so that they don't have to deal with all of that. Is it possible? Now, granted, I know she wanted to quit. She was not having fun. She did not want to be there, but she might not have quit if they hadn't kind of helped it along. That's just the one possibility.
Well, if you read some of our exit interviews, including the ones that are on our Facebook page before they get taken down, you might want to read those. Not by us, I mean the link, because there are
Oh,
some very detailed exit interviews from her
yeah.
online. And she does talk about how production talked to her for a while and then
Oh,
said, let's get Jeff over here.
maybe I might have
So
read that.
you may have read that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's possible. A lot
Yeah.
of things are possible on Survivor.
Yeah. So, do you have any more initial thoughts?
Um, my other initial thought, which was my second thought, was I don't want to watch it again right now. It just got to let the bad taste in my mouth that it ended
Yeah.
the way it did. That's why I did that mouth thing that nobody
Yeah.
saw on the audio version. And I had to go watch something else. I started watching Sons of Anarchy. Had to watch something different because as much as I dislike quitters, and after reading a lot of our interviews today, I get a little better understanding. But my question to you is, would you rather watch someone play their backside off to try to win the game, or watch somebody coach through the game who has no desire to even play? You know, it's an obvious question with an obvious
Okay.
answer. We got that last night. We got somebody that did not want to be there, who didn't ask to be there, who
Right.
got brought into there, and got to a point where she realized I've got nothing left to give,
Right.
and I'm going to do what I need and not what they need. And at the same point, we got to keep one of two awesome players this season. I'm pretty sure one of those two was going to go home. We got to keep them for another week at least.
Yeah. Her
So
$1 million decision may have been $1 million to Jeremy
yes, to Jeremy or to Josh.
or
So
to
it depends
Josh.
on which way it goes. But I would rather she do that and keep those two right now because like people have been saying on our Facebook page, it could be a whole different ball game when they go back to it. Josh could
Right.
win immunity, Jeremy could win immunity, and the whole plans get changed.
Right.
Alliances could get changed. So it's like the game got shuffled again by one player making a decision, but at least she took herself out of the game because she didn't want to be there anymore. And I don't want somebody there that doesn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah, but I don't want them quitting. I don't want them to show up at the game if they don't want to be there anymore. Once they're in the game, they need to stay. Just my thoughts.
I understand.
Another initial thought I had is a game of numbers.
Hmm.
Yeah, because, boy, we talked about that a lot tonight. And last, it's always a good idea to remember your kid's birthday. Just one of those little parenting tips for Keith.
Exactly. You would have thought going out there, because I know you and you know me, if I'm going to be out there for 6 weeks with Bailey and you're going to be out there with Nathan, you're like, man, we're going to be out there for Bailey's birthday.
Yeah,
I might have to remember that.
I'd be keeping track.
Yeah.
I'd be sure I was the first one up telling him happy birthday.
I mean, how cool was it the first day they're together, the next day, I guess, or maybe that same day, it's
Yeah.
his birthday. Actually, it was the next day because it was the morning.
That's right.
Good on Josh. Good people skills.
That's right. Coyopa, day 16. We've got Keith is done with Missy and Baylor. He's not a happy camper about being voted for the night before.
I think he was so unhappy that he went back to camp on night 15 and just went to sleep or just didn't want to talk to anybody because we got no post-tribal council scene like we
Right.
usually do. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way Missy approached the situation
Okay.
because if you look at the editing or the way it was set up, Missy's sitting at the fire beside Baylor, who's sitting, and beside Jacqueline, who's lounging, and John, who's poking at the fire, and Keith, who's working on the fire. And Missy says, Keith, I want to talk to you about last night. And by the way she's doing it, the four of them that have been tighter than anything for the last 3 days,
Right.
we want to talk to you about last night.
Yes.
You know, I really thought she'd have gotten in better with Keith. She could have mended what he was hurt about if she'd done it privately. And if she'd talked to him. Because the reason she gave makes complete sense. And she's exactly right. Because if Keith and Wes had been together and Missy had been by herself, you know, Missy would have got the other votes. But I didn't have a problem with her explanation. I just didn't like the way she did it, the way she did it in front of people, because it looked like she was chastising him. Almost. You need to understand why we did what we did. we're in control, and you need to understand this. Because I noticed in this episode, Missy obviously talks to different people different ways.
Mm-hmm.
She talks to Jeremy one way. She talks to John one way, and she talks to Keith one way. And it's just different. Who she feels deserves the way she talks. It's just interesting watching her the different way she plays this game. Maybe that's to her advantage, and why everybody feels tight to her.
Yeah. One might argue that they should have told Keith, but I would say that's a scary proposition because I have a feeling he doesn't understand the game well enough to be able to comprehend what they were. I mean, he would know what they were saying. I'm not saying he's an idiot. What I'm saying is he wouldn't be able to understand the strategy and stuff. So he'd be. I'm afraid of what he might have done if they had told him we're going to split the votes.
Well, for one, I think he would have brought it up at Tribal Council. And like you said, you don't know what he's going to do. He's not going to get it to the point where, why are you putting him on me? Why don't you put him on John?
Right.
Or she might say to John and Jacqueline, why don't you put it on Baylor? Why me? I thought I was in this group. Yeah. He said, did I not get the memo? And I'm like, that's not the first memo you missed.
Yeah.
Probably won't be the last one.
Yeah, what does it say to him? It says to him, I am at the bottom of this alliance.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, come on. You're the only single guy in the alliance. You ought to know that already anyway.
Yeah. But I agree with you. They shouldn't have told him. But I think the way she approached it afterwards was bad because it's not how you want to treat a future jury member.
There you go.
He's going to remember that.
Right. All right, then we go over to Hunapu, and they get the merge mail.
Mm-hmm.
And here we get the first talk of numbers. We heard numbers a lot.
Yes.
Yep.
We sure did. Josh confirms his alliance with Alec and Wes, and therefore Keith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this is the first taste we get of Josh versus Jeremy. The showdown that we're going to get for the whole episode.
Oh yeah, the whole episode, trying to set us up for that tribal council.
And there was a couple scenes in this whole episode that we never got. And there was a couple scenes in this episode where it seemed like people were talking in front of other people, and the cameras allowed us to see that. Alec, who I'm all to stand on right now or anything, but you can tell he's been talking to Josh,
right,
and listening to the plans, and his comment was, "Hey, time to run the game," and they showed Jeremy like right off to the side, kind of looking at him like, "Well, you and I haven't been talking about running the game, so
right.
I know where your alliance stands, and you're not going to work with the singles, you're going to work with Josh, who's with the couples or who's not with me, basically."
Right.
So I just thought it was ironic just kind of interesting that he said it right in front of Jeremy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go back over to Coyopa, and we hear John because they get the merge, and John, showing that he does watch the show Survivor,
mm-hmm.
says no one wants to date someone who doesn't make it to the merge. I guess we can still keep dating. Quoting our wonderful friend Kat.
Or at least he's watched the other Blood versus Water.
Well, yeah.
Recently, yeah. I found it interesting that neither of the tree males said merge. It just said climb to the hill and follow the directions. Well, everybody's saying merge, and I stopped it and read it, but everybody's saying we must have heard merge 8 times, but no, I mean the male didn't actually say merge. I was hoping for another twist or just for another shuffle. I thought it would have been kind of neat. But yeah,
that would have been really cool.
I know.
Drop
that's what I was. Yeah, we're switching tribes again.
Instead, Probst wasn't even there. They just show up. Well, I think Probst was. Well, no, she hadn't quit yet, but so I guess he wasn't too irritated. But Probst wasn't even there. It was just here's some food,
right,
for y'all to hoard and eat, and here's some buffs.
See, that's why I wasn't even sure it was a merge until they showed the new buffs and then hashtag merge.
Yeah.
Whatever. Come on, put another twist into it. Feed them and let them think they're going together. Oh, we didn't never said merge. We're just going to put both tribes on the same camp. That's all.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have been neat. But if they just shuffled, it would have been even numbers again.
Yeah.
So because 2 people were gone.
And a weird thing, usually they drop their buffs and they get rid of them. They had both buffs for a while. Or at least that's what it looked like. And like, for example, later on in the episode, both Jacqueline and Julie are wearing a buff on their head and a buff as a shirt. Same. I don't understand that. Are they using someone else's buffs?
No, I tweeted to Jacqueline that it must have been a 2-for-1 sale at the merge feast because it looked like they were wearing 2 buffs, and she replied and said, "No, I used a machete. So did Julie, and we cut them in half." So if you go back and look,
Wow.
especially at Julie's, she's wearing it as a top, and then she's wearing it as a headband, but the headband is very thin. So you
Okay.
can tell that she cut off the top. They cut off the top to use it as a headband, and then they cut the big chunk of it down bottom to use as the top.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Thanks,
Way to
thanks,
go.
Jacqueline.
And where's the clue? We're at a merch feast and there's no clue.
Who knows? Where are the people looking? Where are Val and Natalie looking for the idols at their camps? So we've left the camp now. We don't know if that idol got found because they got a new clue. Remember, walk from the flag, so many paces. We don't know if she found it. I don't think she did, obviously, because they didn't show it.
Crazy. All right, then we get they're gonna start taking all the food with them, and we hear Julie say, "I'm taking all of this," and Missy says to her, "Yeah, Julie, good call."
Exactly.
Which, by the way, I cannot side with Julie on this. I don't think they were all taking food and going, "Okay, I got this, so this is mine." My understanding was they took all the food and then they all shared it, except for Julie, who left it in her bag so she could have some later.
Did she forget it was in her bag, or did
No.
she just happen to leave it in her bag?
Yeah.
I believe the latter. I think she just accidentally, on purpose, forgot it was in her bag and went from there. But
And you know, and Missy knows this. See, Missy's playing this game. Missy's the little manipulator in this thing, in this whole situation. She knows it's in her bag, right? She doesn't tell anybody, but whenever it's found, she, you know, kind of goes along with everybody, and then she goes to Julie and tries to comfort. Missy's like wearing 18 hats.
you can tell by how many friends she has. Even Baylor mentions how many relationships she's in, how many alignments she's in. Some of the confessionals we got at the feast, Julie starts talking about missing John and seeing the couples together and how that's kind of wearing on her. And
yeah, they're just setting us up.
Exactly. And Keith is happy to be back with playing with Wes. Never mentions the birthday. But he does mention he could care less about Missy and Baylor.
Right.
So I guess that's leading to something down the road. And Josh, who I like, he talks about the game. He says the game is now more daunting because you got numbers to deal with, you got more people to deal with, and the question is, do I have the numbers? Yeah. So I mean, all good confessionals leading to stuff that's going to come right up later.
Yeah. And we get back to camp, and Jeremy starts talking about numbers.
That's because this is where the game begins.
And Jeremy starts talking to John.
Yes, he does.
But hey, Jeremy's right. This is what he's been playing for. He's been playing for the merge.
Right.
He's been waiting to get to this spot, and he is here, and he's excited about it.
Yeah, they just like
he doesn't act very excited about anything, but
he's pretty down this whole episode. He's not. Yeah. He's not happy, but as long as he doesn't,
he's unhappy.
I know. As long as he doesn't show it, he's okay. As long as he keeps it in the confessionals, he's good. But it's neat because Jeremy now does what Josh did when they got the tree mail. Jeremy goes through his alliance and his type people. Talks about Jeremy, John, and Jacqueline, Missy Baylor, Julie, and Natalie.
Right.
So I think it's kind of neat now. We've had both captains mention their teams, and they are perfectly split. Neither one overlaps any castaways. Right. You know, so we've got the two divisions, so we see what's going on. And after he talks to John, then he goes and talks to Missy. Yep. You know, and puts that there. And again, we see, like you said, Missy is everywhere. She's talking to different people in different ways, and she's just keeping those ties.
Yeah. This whole episode was Josh versus Jeremy.
Yes.
Jeremy, I can't let Josh get the numbers. Josh, I can't let Jeremy get the numbers.
Right. Which is what we want to see. This is what I loved about the episode. We saw two fans, two people that know the game, play the game in a very aggressive way. Yeah. And, I mean, they didn't act aggressive, but they were actually scrambling and trying to get these numbers for this ever-important first merge vote.
Right. Now, David, because Coyopa is your favorite all-time tribe name, I'm going to let you pronounce the new merge tribe name.
You know, when I saw that name, I'm like, really?
I remember last week, you're like, well, crud, I can't pronounce it, but it's only one more week. Next week, it's a whole new tribe and a whole new merge name, and I won't have to pronounce it.
They did that on purpose. That's so wrong.
So go ahead, David. What's the new tribe name?
Huopa? Is that Adam? Huopa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huyopa. Huyopa.
Huyopa. Okay. I'm going to say the merge tribe. That's what I'm going to call it.
You're going to start going, Huyapoo.
Huyapoo. Huyopa. Who your pa?
Who your
Who your
pa?
ma? Who your pa? Who your ma?
Oh man. Oh, let's see. Someone wrote. Oh, Baylor even talks about how many relationships, I mean alliances that Missy has had.
Yes.
That was funny. No, he was joking about how many relationships she's had.
Her mom's had, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to day 17. Next day. Happy birthday to Wes. I wonder. I wonder if Keith was like out hunting or something. I was out hunting for a week, and I came back, and my wife had, laid a baby. And I know I just didn't really remember when he was born. I just knew it was during this week. So
It was last week. We always celebrate on a different date,
yeah,
so we never know
we
which day it actually is.
we always just celebrate on that Thursday because that's when I got home from my hunting trip.
So what does he do? He goes out crab hunting and
Yeah.
brings him a crab.
Looky here, you got a baby. Whoa, I didn't even know you was pregnant.
Just thought you were eating well.
That's a new one to me. I just thought you liked butter beans. All right. I like messing with Keith. He's funny to watch in his confessionals. I mean, he'll be talking. I just think, that's what I think.
Exactly. You know he's done when the spit comes out. The cameraman goes, all right, cut. He's done.
I ain't sure what this Lego necklace is for, but
Then he's got that look.
yeah. Next question.
Yeah.
That's the look it is. Next
Yep.
question. When can I go back to sleep?
Yeah. It's
got some
past
fish
my
in it.
nap time.
I got some fishing to do. I got my spot just over the edge where I can see Julie while she's sunbathing.
and Missy said, when I come back from this, I can get my nap. So are we done?
All right, Josh and Reed. They want to, surprise, surprise, they want to do couples versus singles.
I never would have thought that.
Who would have ever thunk it?
But it makes sense because you want to get to the end with your loved one. I mean, how awesome would that be? To be with your loved one.
I know. I know what I want. I want my loved one on the jury for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd rather have my loved one on the jury than my loved one in the final three with me.
Yeah, because you don't want them to split votes between the two of you.
Right.
In fact, I'd rather be with a couple in the final three.
Yeah.
Me and a couple. Let them split the votes.
That, and I want my loved one in the jury long enough to sway the votes.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Because I've watched here recently on YouTube when I was bored one day. I watched bad ponderosas.
Oh yeah.
How people get no reaction. Cochran went his first season. They were all scattered like flies. Nobody wanted to see him. I saw Kat show up, and all the guys, because they voted out all the guys, they were there to console her. And then it showed RC and Abby Maria going after each other. So there's been some interesting tribal councils. I mean, ponderosas.
Right.
But if you get Missy there, she's going to make sure everybody's bed's ready. She's going to make sure the tables are ready. Hell, isn't Baylor doing such a great job?
Yeah. I have gone through 3 divorces. One.
It could be. Could be the one.
Josh, I'm going to guilt on Baylor today.
Now, did you notice, right before he did that, he named what he said was his tight alliance, which he'd already said, Reed, West Keith, and Alec. He didn't mention Baylor. I mean, there are people that were aligned. Right. It separated people that were aligned, but later on, Baylor calls Josh her one strong alliance.
All right.
Yeah.
But he wasn't sure about that. That's why he was going to go put guilt on her.
Right.
Because he's been watching her and Missy. And the thing is, it's like Josh is like the, Josh, the bad kid at school trying to get your daughter away from obeying her parents.
Yep.
I'm gonna go get Baylor. I don't like the way she's talking to her mama so much.
Her mom was not looking at me very nice.
Yeah. But anyway, so he's gonna go guilt Baylor, And of course they talk, and I'm thinking, dude, she has every. How many times did you vote for her, or not
See,
tell her
that's
what
what
you
I'm
were
saying. He
doing?
said something about she owes him, but I'm like,
Right.
you scared the daylights out of her the first couple
Yeah.
tribal councils.
He
So
saved
I
her.
don't know what she owes you.
He saved her once. He
Yeah.
saved her. His vote saved her. So, all right. So Baylor goes to Missy, and Missy plays the "I'm the mom" card. It's time to listen to me, trust me, which is that foreshadowing. Think Mama gonna get Baylor in
Yeah.
trouble?
We really saw a different side of Baylor. How she wants to talk to Josh. She's going to feel guilty about blindsiding him and stuff. And Missy's
Right.
like the calm voice saying, "Honey, it's the game. He's going to respect
Right.
you if you blindside him. Josh is a player. He knows the game." And she wants to talk to him before it happens. What I found interesting here was that Baylor said that she felt Missy and Josh were equal, but she's going to Missy because she's her mom. My first thought, as if I were Missy, I would have said, "We're equal in this game. I'm equal with somebody else. How am I, as your mom, equal with somebody else in this game?"
Well, I think
Didn't we
Stu's talking alliances. Like,
really?
okay,
So
the
if you or
only
I on
person.
his best friends, if we were on his best friends, and I'd been on another tribe with Bill, we clicked, we got along great, and I came back to you and said, I see you and Bill as equal, but I'm gonna go with you because you're my best friend, this and the other. But basically, y'all are equal. You wouldn't take offense to that?
Well, okay, it depends on how you meant it. I think she meant it like he's the only person with whom I've had a strong alliance, and you are my mom, and I have a strong alliance with you. We both have strong alliances, equal alliances. But you're my mama,
Yes.
so you outweigh that alliance.
But I think and I'm not trying to argue, but I think the fact that she brought it up in a sense that I've got him on one side and I've got you on one side, and the only reason I'm going with you is because you're my mom.
Right.
So that trumps the tie. But the fact that she's putting Josh on the same level as Missy, because basically I think Baylor's just in that position where she would love to go with the work she's done, but she's going to have to go with the work her mom's done.
Right.
So it's kind of like she's lived on borrowed time to this point. Now she's going to just ride her mom's coattails.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because Missy's done a lot of work. You got to give Missy credit. She's played a great social game, where Baylor was, up and down with her game. But in the one bond she made that she felt tight with, she's now going to be losing. So she's really hanging by a thread on Missy's coattails. I just thought that was interesting. And then Missy said that Baylor has a need to please, which is why she wants to tell Josh that he's going to go home, which Josh is the last person you want to tell they're going to go home.
Yeah, you don't want to
I can only imagine the scrambling Josh is going to do.
All right.
So
I get the feeling Reed just kind of lays in the tent or lays in the shelter, and Josh goes, okay, this is what I've done. I'm going to go do this now. You just chill out here. I'll be back in a little while. Reed just sleeps.
See, I'm in complete agreement with you, because I think when they get to a restaurant and the food's not right, it's Josh that talks to the waiter.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's when they go somewhere to pick up something and something's not right, it's Josh that talks to the person.
Right.
It's not that Reed can't, but I think Reed is not one necessarily for quick, ad lib, speaking on the spot type thing. And and also Reed's been with these people, and if he doesn't have a relationship now with them, or he didn't build one, then he's not going to be able to form one now. They're going to see completely through what he's doing, and since Josh is a strong player, I could definitely see Josh doing all these points, and Josh sees that Baylor is completely under Missy's thumb, so he turns to Team Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why not? It's his only choice.
Do you think Team Michigan goes with whoever talked to them last?
Like Andy Baker said on Facebook. Absolutely.
Because I didn't read
that. Yeah, he said it's really.
I didn't get to see anything.
Go with the last team that talks to Team Michigan.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Josh comes up, talks to him, and John's like, "Wow." Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a court case. The last lawyer that talks to you gets to say the best things because they've heard the other arguments and they know it.
John's in a perpetual state of amazement.
He is.
John, there's a frog over there. Whoa. Okay, go ahead, David. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. He's just in awe of everything. I love his energy. You know, the energy that he has still in this game is just something we want to see from more people, and it's obviously not. But then we get, you ready to go to Josh's talking?
You can go wherever you want.
Okay. I liked Josh's presentation.
All right.
How he went to, he basically said, you know, that Jeremy, we're not going to play with Jeremy. Me and Reed are not going to play with Jeremy because we can't beat him in the finals. In fact, who's going to give two successful Broadway stars money when you've got a fireman there with two kids? So in doing this, also it's obvious to me that, or it should be that, John and Jacqueline are with Jeremy because John and Jacqueline have not talked to Josh and Reed. I would think since the merge, this is, you know, John and Jacqueline are only going to talk to their closest people because when they get stuck, they go to Missy or they go to Jeremy, and they tell them everything that's going on, and they still do. But this is also Josh's first time of talking to John because they've been on opposite tribes all season. So this was like his first, to give him his first impression. He said, we don't want to work with Jeremy if we go to the Final Three. I said that. Josh established that, one, Jeremy is nearly unbeatable at Final Tribal Council. Not just with them, but with anybody.
Right.
So he should be voted out as soon as possible before he goes on an individual immunity challenge run. And two, Reed and Josh might be beatable because they're successful Broadway stars.
Right. They
would be the perfect tandem to take to Final Tribal Council. So to me, that's 2 points that he got across to John and Jacqueline. I wrote, Josh is trying to help John and Jacqueline figure out whom they want to take to the end. He isn't telling them what to do exactly, but he's trying to help them make the decision that benefits John and Jacqueline, because everything John and Jacqueline say when they're making a decision is what gets us further. And that's the right attitude to have, the right thought process to have. And it's obviously Josh is trying to get whatever Josh and Reed can get to the end.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought it was a great presentation. I thought Josh was doing a great. In fact, really, Josh is playing a harder game. At least they're showing us Josh playing a harder game than what Jeremy is.
Yes.
Jeremy almost looks like he's just kind of gives up. You know. Oh well, crud.
I was
like
getting
he goes and he makes his effort and he's happy, and as soon as something goes on, he's like, oh.
I was getting the same vibe. When he talks to him, we got to do this now. We got to take care of this. And to me, it's frustration on his end. You know, he's by himself. He doesn't have a loved one. I don't think that's bothering him as much as it is seeing people that are wishy-washy.
Right.
And I think he's seeing that. But the way that Josh went to him, Josh was just making his case, just saying, look, this is what we're thinking. If you want to come with us, we think the couples train is the ride to take. If you go with the singles, you're going to be their next targets. You know, they're going to stick together. They don't have any loved ones. So, and
ride the couple train.
Yeah, I just thought that was really good. But something I noticed, this is my other point that I brought up earlier, when Josh was finishing, basically saying, and that's why we're not going with Jeremy. He needs to go. He's moving as if he's getting up. Right behind him is Missy.
Right.
And she's like cleaning, doing stuff. She's there long enough, I think, to hear what Josh is saying.
Oh, sure, of course.
Because as soon as he's getting up, she's finished, and she's getting up, walks away, and it's funny that they gave us John saying, hi, Missy. Hi, Mom. You know, hi.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to say hi to the godmother when she walks by? Hi, Missy. Yeah. Hi. Need some food?
I got caught. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I know you were there. I knew you were there while I was listening to plans to get rid of Jeremy.
I was talking to Josh. I'm sorry.
He was talking to us, you know. But we're not believing him. Hi, Missy. You know, so I just found that interesting that she was there. I wonder if anything's going to come of that. If we're going to see next week where she's talking to Jeremy saying, look, Josh is trying to take Team Michigan and we need to get them back.
Oh, sure. Well, sure. Yeah. All right, Huyopa, day 18. Everyone's hungry and wants some trail mix because that's the only thing they haven't found yet.
Yep.
And Julie has it in her bag. And like I said before, I'm kind of on the tribe side with this one. Not that they should have gone through her bag. They should have talked to her. But everybody puts stuff in their bags to take back to camp, not for themselves, but to share with the whole tribe. So not only does she go off by herself and sunbathe, right? Does she go off by herself and just be alone? But she also takes trail mix, takes food, and hoards it. You know? she doesn't have anybody with whom she speaks with a lot, except maybe Missy and I guess Jeremy some, but she's really a loner. She's only there because she's like being made to be there.
Yeah.
And she's making mistakes. She's really alienating herself.
It was amazing how much the tribe was together in this episode in certain scenes, except for Julie.
Right,
Way too many times she was away. The funny part I found with the editing was when she was sunbathing, she was resting her head on her bag. But at the same time, John was going through her bag.
Oh, nice.
So some good editing there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I understand. It's hard, but if you've seen Survivor, if you're not someone that just came on the show, you see how people treat or hiding food all the way back to, I think it was Kel back in Australia, Outback. They got rid of him right away because they thought he had beef jerky. I think he said he was eating Three Mark, but he had jerky or something in his cargo shorts. But yeah, that was, to me, it's got to be one of those things. Oh my gosh, even if you don't do it for a day or so, you one day you got to go in your bag and say, oh my gosh, guys, I found trail mix. It's in my bag. I didn't clean out my bag.
Right.
You did this, and then you take it to everybody and you make an inroad. I just feel like at this point, even around the merge, she had already started to mentally check out of the game.
Yeah, I don't really feel like she was making effort to have relationships with anybody based on what they showed us.
In fact, her talk with Missy, everything she did was yes, just finish saying what you're going to say because I need to go another direction. I'm ready to walk away from this conversation. Yes.
Well, now, okay, but part of that is because she was seeing through Missy.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? She was seeing that Missy really wasn't her friend. Missy was just trying to keep her in the game because she needed her for the numbers. I mean, seriously, I'm not saying I do not agree with her quitting. I think once you're in the game, you should stay in it. But really, she was alone. She was not having any fun. And this is a key thing. Where's her motivation? See, you and I go out there, we have a motivation. Mm-hmm. I want to win. I want to win $1 million. I don't have $1 million.
Yeah.
Heck, I don't have, I have car payments and stuff like that. People without car payments and stuff. What's that like? So, she doesn't have these needs. She doesn't care. She was there for the fun. And also, well, I don't know if she was there for the fun. She was probably there to try to prove herself. But once John left, where's her motivation? There's nothing keeping her there. And if anything, John's at Ponderosa, and she knows that if she makes the jury, she won't be with him again. So she knows that if she gets off now, she'll go to Ponderosa for like 2 or 3 days, and then they're going on a resort. They're going to a resort. They're going to party for 20 days.
Well, you saw in her exit interviews that are on our Facebook page that at some point she was told that John might not be there, that he may have already left. And in fact, it wasn't until you read the exit interviews, it wasn't until she committed to say, yes, I'm done. Then they said, well, do you want us to get John to come out and meet you before you go in? And she said she was surprised. Now, this is her exit interviews, months after it's happened. So, but to me, it was a lack of respect for the game. If you quit just because you're tired, you're hungry, and you don't want to be there anymore, you just don't respect the game. But at the same point, I can't fault her for that because she wasn't a fan. She came on because they wanted John Rocker, and he had a good-looking girlfriend. They said, gosh, let's get her on too. Would you like to be a reality star? Well, yeah, of course I would. I have a business. I want to get famous. So, I mean, I can't fault her for that, but that's kind of why I think Jeff just coaxed her out of the game, or the producers did, or whoever talked to her. Yeah. If you're going to quit, let's do it now because we don't want you on the jury.
Right.
We don't want somebody gone that would be great on the jury. So I agree with what you said an hour ago that there might have been some leading to say, look, if you're going to go, now's a good time. We've seen you the last 6 days. We know you're leaning towards leaving. So if you're going to go, now's the best time to go. But you can't go back to camp. You can't talk to anybody. We're going to tell them goodbye for you, and you're done.
And how annoying is this for a Kelly?
Absolutely.
This is where it's not fair because you have somebody like a Kelly who's been watching since season 1, who absolutely loves the game, and Julie lasts longer. It's just not cool.
I agree.
Of course, she hasn't even. We've really jumped ahead, so we don't have to rehash her quit again later on.
No.
But we're at the immunity challenge.
Oh gosh, we really did jump ahead.
Which of course means nothing. this immunity challenge ends up meaning nothing.
Yeah, it does. It proves that Jeremy's not good at challenges like
Well,
this.
that's true.
What did you think of it? What did you think of the challenge?
It was just a basic, nothing special. I think
Uh,
it would have been, yeah, nothing really spectacular.
I
It
think it
was
would have
okay.
been better later in the game. I just didn't get much out of it. I would have rather have a physical, long-term endurance where you got to hold something or you got to stand on something. I would
Right.
rather have had one of those than balancing a ball,
Yeah.
especially with a hurricane right behind you.
Right. I'm more interested in them being uncomfortable and how long can you maintain in an uncomfortable state than just holding a ball on a piece of wood.
Exactly. Instead of just
'Cause-
balancing.
Right. So they're playing for the Lego Idol,
Yes.
and it gets down to John, Keith, Wes, and Josh. So guess we need to be watching for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith wins. Yoo-hoo!
Yep.
And he's like, now what's this necklace? Now I ain't never seen necklace like this before.
Is there no food? There's no food with this?
Where's the reward? Is this my reward?
Can I eat it?
The producers get him out to say, okay, now this is trouble. All right, I'm sorry.
No,
I am
you
joking on the
froze.
fact that I don't think Keith knows the game at all. I mean, harkens back to the Sub Alliance. Well, that's a new one on me. And Jeremy's like, it's not a new one to anyone that watches the game.
They also didn't show us when Missy goes, Keith, there are no memos. We don't use memos in Survivor. So no, you didn't miss the memo. You're just missing the game.
All right, back at camp. Jeremy lamenting. I was out before an old guy, a mom, and Julie. I was out before Julie. Oh, man. All right, so let's see. This is
But then we get John.
Alex says. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We get John because for some reason I don't have notes here. Where's my notes?
Well, Alec, this is when Alec made the comment about the trail mix again.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not sure if it was before or after this, but we get John going to Jeremy and telling him Josh's
Yes.
plan. Well, he didn't say everything about Josh's plan. He just said that they're gunning for you. They're going to say Baylor, but they're gunning for, or they're going to say somebody, but they're gunning for you because you're going to be a challenge threat. And Jeremy's like, did they watch me in the challenge?
Yeah.
Was he the first one sitting down? Yeah. I can't do these challenges.
Right. Let's see. This is where we get all the couples talking. It looks like it's going to be a couple train. They're going to vote off Jeremy, which, if they were showing us more than they normally would have, to show us what the vote would have been, because maybe if there was going to be a tribal council, they wouldn't have telegraphed what the vote was going to be so much. But let's assume that they are.
I think they are.
Then Julie's quit saved Jeremy.
Yes. I think they did that on purpose too, like you said. I think they were giving us basically the tribal council plans.
Right.
So they see what would have happened. So now how far Jeremy goes will be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure why John included Alec's name in the group. Why is Alec in the couples group? Did you catch that? Here?
No, I don't remember him saying that, but if he did, it's probably because Alec is with Josh and Wes, who happen to be couples. So Alec would be the one single.
Okay. So where's Julie? The producers are telling her Probst is coming. And are there really summer camps where kids go away for 40-plus days? Seriously? My kids have never gone away for more than a week for summer camp.
So I can imagine 2 weeks. But
what do parents do? Just send their kids off for the summer so they don't have to mess with them or something? Is this a real thing?
Not to my knowledge. I was never sent off for the summer.
Gosh.
I was sent outside for the summer, but I was never sent off.
I mean, don't let me see you again till 9 o'clock, but...
Yeah.
All right.
If the garage is closed, come around the back door.
Yeah. So Jeff goes back to tell the tribe, Natalie, how can someone do that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it's let's go off on Julie time.
Yep.
And no tribal council. And my friends, that is it.
I found it interesting, another wonderful editing moment, that Josh talked about Julie leaving, which is great because Jeremy loses a number, which is going to make it easier for us to vote him out tonight at tribal council.
Mm-hmm.
So he mentioned Julie leaving and tribal council in the same confessional.
Well, yeah, but that's
Even though even
go
though
ahead.
apparently Probst had told them she's left and there's no tribal council. So
Right.
why did we get a tribal council a confessional where he said we're going to vote Jeremy out tonight because he's got one less vote?
Because it's the same thing that they do in shows like Top Chef and stuff. They have confessionals during the middle of the challenge where they ask, okay, what were you thinking at this time, at this point in the challenge? So they would say to Josh, okay, so what were you thinking whenever Probst was telling you this about
Okay,
tribal council and stuff? And then he would say, well, so that they could play those during the actual talk.
gotcha. Well, we also
That's
got
how they do it.
the John confessional with the merge buff that we saw last week, where he
Right.
said once again we're in the middle. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I did write a dirge,
A dirge.
but I sang it, and dirges are really sad and bleh, and so it's not really that fun to sing. So I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not even gonna. But this is it. This is my dirge.
Oh, that is sad. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so sad. It's called "I'm Leaving This Game."
Hmm.
I'll just tell you some of the highlights. Um, while the sun gives a tan, it's not a true glow tan. I have tan lines, and I don't like them. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Let's see. Who knew rain made you wet? That was in that was in my dirge. Hmm. I never wanted to play this silly game anyway, and Alec is just plain mean.
Hmm. I hear you.
Why wouldn't I want to go? The prize money's too low. Let's see. My hair is a mess, and my nails look atrocious. Tan lines are meh, and I need a vacation. I'm leaving this game. Words from Julie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your new merge buff at Buff USA. We don't have one, but you might get one.
If I run this real fast across the camera, I'll say, "Yeah, I got one."
Yeah, Buff USA. There's a logo on our website. So feedback show is Sunday night, my friends, and don't forget we still got stock up, stock down, and my knock knock jokes. So don't go anywhere. But feedback show is Sunday night. Get your feedback in by 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can go to survivortalkwithdnd.com/feedback. It's also stwdd.com/feedback. David, are you going to get a shirt or a hoodie?
Probably a hoodie, because Terry likes to wear my hoodies at times. So I'll probably get a hoodie that she would like.
All right. All right, David, stock up, stock down. Who do you think?
This is tough
I know.
like I said, it's the episode's stuck in the middle, so it's not like.
Yeah, I agree. It's like we haven't finished. I mean, the merge episode's still going on to me.
Yeah. If I had to give a midway merge stock up, I would probably give it to John, because physically I think he's going to be in every challenge, and he was a power couple on a small tribe, and now I think is actually a power couple on a big tribe. I think his niceness is going to catch up to him, but I think right now he's liked by Missy, he's liked by Jeremy, he's liked by Josh, he's liked by Keith, whereas other people are disliked by different people. I think John's one of the more popular people there.
Yeah.
So I guess he's got my stock up this week.
Okay, I would say Josh. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
Jeremy.
I think Josh was on top by the end of the episode. Maybe Jeremy.
I don't really know.
It's hard to tell because it didn't go anywhere. It's like we got set up for a big boxing match,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they canceled the stadium, so we had to go somewhere else to finish it.
Actually, how about Julie? I mean, because she's like, she's enjoying life now.
Yeah, she's on a free
Yeah.
vacation.
All right. I don't even have a stock down. Do you have a stock down? I mean, we don't have to do it if we don't have one.
I don't know.
See if anybody in the chat room
I'd
has.
say Alec. I think he spoke up a little too much.
Really? Alec,
Yeah.
as though he wasn't already low enough.
Yeah.
All right. No one's saying anything in the chat room.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a few jokes. Unless you got something else.
Nope. I'm holding it till
Golly,
next
it's
week.
been like a month since we've had an iTunes review, and get on there, y'all. iTunes reviews help us. Help us. All right, David. Knock knock.
Who is there?
A broken pencil.
A broken pencil. Who?
Never mind. It's pointless. That one got a chuckle.
That was good.
Awesome. This one is dedicated to Mike K in SoCal.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
To
who?
To whom?
Oh.
Why are you talking like that?
Because I'm giving you different voices to answer the door. I don't want the same person.
All right. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh gosh. Nana.
Nana who?
None of your business. Will you remember me in a year, David?
Wow. Is that? Will you remember me in a year? Who?
No, I'm asking you. Will you remember me in a year?
I'm sure I will.
Okay. Will you remember me in a month?
I don't think I'll have a choice. So yeah.
Answer the question.
You froze. All I heard was, "Will you remember me in a month?" And I answered.
Okay. How about a week?
Most assuredly, I'd remember you in a week.
Knock knock. Come on, play along.
Who's there?
You got me already, you jerk.
Yes. I didn't recognize your knock.
All right. Oh, this one's stupid. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Juno.
You know who?
You know I'm out here, right?
I like when they're so stupid they're funny.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I'm a
who?
I'm a psychiatrist. I'm here because you won't open up. There's just 4 more.
Oh gosh.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Batman.
Batman who?
You don't know who Batman is? You idiot.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
No.
Anybody still watching?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Stopwatch.
Stopwatch you.
Stop what you're doing and open this stupid door. All right, last one, David.
Yay! Where's the applause?
Stupid knock knock jokes. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Let us.
Let us who?
Say it together. Let us in.
I thought you were going to say let us end the show.
Let us end. Let us end.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Who is this that's on the chat? Oh, is it Kathy? Oh, Kathy wanted to know what was the question. I was taking an ADD quiz. Yeah, we learned not to ask Kathy in-depth questions about Survivor. Remember whenever we had her on the show? And when we asked her a question, she's like, "No, you're not supposed to ask me questions."
I'm just here
to what, David?
to be on the air.
Yeah. I'm just here to look good in my Zumba. Zumba. Zumba-dee-doo. All right, y'all. Follow me on Twitter at Survivor_talk. We have 1,160-something followers. Let's get to 1,200. By the way, this is our 190th episode. We are going to have to do something spectacular to celebrate our 200th episode. So
and we will hit it this year because I think I read there's 6 episodes left.
So we will hit it. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So that'll be a big episode. Join our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/SurvivorTalk. Don't join our group and try to sell sunglasses because we will kick you out.
Yep.
If you even make it in. You might not even make it in unless David catches you on his phone and just doesn't think about it. It's ad. Yes, if for some reason you ask to join the group and it takes a little while, it's because we have to get to a place where we can check to make sure you're a real person.
Yes.
So anyway. All right, David. That was the episode. Feedback. Get your feedback in Sunday night. Thanks for watching live, those of you who watch live, and for chatting. I know we had Kathy in there and a couple of others. David was in there. Was Jeremiah in there? Jeremiah from Survivor?
Not from Survivor, but there was a
Oh,
Jeremiah in there when I logged in.
oh, okay. All right. And there was more. They just didn't all chat. So, all right. Music for tonight's show is Summit by Skrillex, and I might as well play It's the End of the Game as you know it one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks again for listening, everybody. That is all I've got. How about you, Dave?
I'm good.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.